I was wondering about figure 8 nuts and the strength of them. We all know it. Figure 8 nut has about 70% of its rope strength left. So I took a standard LSK, low stretch current rope, 11 mil, with a strength of 35 kilonewton. And we pull tested it in 2 different forms, and then we thought about adding a tail back into the nut to see what would happen if we could get more strength out of it. So the right way of tying a nut for figure 8, and this is kind of a folklore, is that we have the upper and the bottom part of a double figure 8 on a bite. And if you can tell, the blue rope is below the white rope on the band here. And if you pull test this, if you pull test the white part, it's kind of being cushioned by the blue part. So let's have a look and see if we can see any difference in strength between the two. So there we are, looking at the number 1 pull test, which is where we are pulling the rope onto the bottom part of the loop here, the bend here. And hopefully we'll see have a good result in strength. You see that the rope is being tightened, and in a few seconds it will pop, and we will get a result. 1, 2, there it went. It was 5,000 pounds or 22 kilonewton with a reduction, that's a reduction of 37% compared to the rope manufacturer's given minimum breaking strength. So here we are looking at number 2. This is where we are pulling on the blue part, the bottom bend. So that should mean that we will get a weaker knot and lower results. Let's have a look. You can see it really being tight. You see the top bend being on top and not doing anything. And in a few seconds, there it went. And you can tell that it was around 4,700 pounds, which is about 21 kilonewtons. And that's about a reduction of 41%. Not as bad as we would have thought, but still a 300 pound difference or a 1 kilonewton difference. So here we are looking at number 3, and here we were thinking like, okay, we have a knot and we know that this bend is being squeezed tight, so what if we put the tail through back in it again? Well, let's have a look and see what the results are. There it went. And that was around 5,600 pounds, so that's a reduction of 30%, 25 kilonewtons roughly. So that's not bad at all. So there is something there to put the tail back or make it more, bulky. So the last pull test made us think, and what if we put something more into that bend, into those loops, and get a bit of more diameter. As you can tell, we put a dowel pin into it. It was the toughest thing we could find that's in our toolbox. It's been heavily used and of course scored, and during the pull test now you can see it's kind of wiggling around and moving around, so it's not a great idea of course, but let's see what the results are when it starts to break. There it went. Yes, 4,750 pounds, and that's about 21.2 kilonewtons, not the results we were hoping for. And that makes sense because the dowel pin is a flat round piece, so you're really pressing hard on it, so it doesn't help any all. It needs to be cushioned, apparently. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this. Of course, like it or not like it if you have a chance. And yeah, let me know what you think of it, and if you have any suggestions for what we need to pull test. Hopefully see you next time.